We're ready to rock. Here we go. Ruud, Nick Bahe. Pod brought to you by Pella. You know what to do. PellaOmaha.com. New windows, new doors. Get the journey started there. Showrooms, Omaha and Lincoln. They're fantastic. Ruud is caught on something, getting ready to rock here. Oh, what did we loot?
Van Morrison's down.
Van Morrison's down. Folks, we have Van Morrison down.
I'll be back.
Van the man is down. Will it stay? That's the question. And we have it fixed. If it falls down in the middle of the pod, we'll and things get disrupted, you know what the deal is. We have so much to talk about. You texted me last night. I was sitting there. I was going to text you. I'm like, you and I got to get together because there's like 5 things that could be individual hour-long conversations.
Yeah, it is like 5 pods in one that just got dropped in our lap.
So we'll try here. Let's start with Dylan, because, okay, just so people know, we're taping this. It's December 17th. It's Wednesday. It's about 11 o'clock, 11:15.
Yeah. Nick Bahe has been... He's been all over the world for the last 17 days, so this is like, we haven't even spoken person since then. So Since the last recap.
What bowl game, opponent, all that stuff. There's just a million things going on here. Let's start with Dylan.
Yeah.
Dylan Raiola hits the transfer portal, according to Pete Thamel. And I guess it's pretty amazing to me, considering like how he was received and thought of when he arrived, that the news hits just like 48 hours ago that Dylan's hitting the transfer portal, he's leaving. And it was somewhat met with a collective like, yep, okay. Like there wasn't a big freak, at least in my, like, I haven't sensed this big freak out. No, maybe it's because there's been little hints and breadcrumbs that it was going, whether it was his brother decommitting and then Donovan Raiola getting fired as the O-line coach. Like this wasn't like an out of left field thing, but I get that everybody's guilty of having the excitement and the allure of like what's behind door number 2 with a new quarterback. But like sometimes you got to say it out loud. A 5-star quarterback that was a 2-year starter is leaving, and it was met with a collective like, no, I think this is a good thing for Nebraska. And even the media, and I think this is maybe true, I'll get to all this, but I was framing it. Like the media has reported that it was kind of like a mutual parting of ways.
That's what I would love to know.
Yeah.
Factually. Like, what does Matt Rhule and Holgorsen at their core feel? How do they feel about Dylan? You know what I mean? Like,
what's your read on that? I mean, I don't know. This is kind of a nonsense part. Like,
I don't know. I can't get an honest feel. I don't think they would. I don't get the sense they pushed him out. I would think they'd say, yeah, Dylan, you want to stay? You're staying.
Right.
I would think that. And I would, if I was a coach, I'd want to keep Dylan. I just think he's got that kind of talent. But I don't discount that, like, there were some things that weren't great, right? Like there were some issues with him. But I don't get the sense they pushed him out like, hey, Dylan, this might not be the place for you. I don't think it's anything like that.
I don't know if it was anything like that. I also think you cannot push someone out but not fight like hell to keep them. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
Because I even thought, like, I thought Rhule in one of his pressers, I'm not sure if it was the bowl game press conference or signing day or whatever it was, someone asked him about Dylan, and I thought his whole tone about Dylan was dramatically different than it had been the whole 2 years leading up. He basically said something to the effect of like, hey, listen, it's up to him on, what player he needs to become, the player that we all need him to become and hoping to become. I'm paraphrasing here, but it just seemed like it was more, for 2 years, it was almost like Rhule
protected
him and spoke about him in a way that was not completely different than everybody else, but I think everybody knows, like it came off different.
I think you had to
you had to be careful.
You had to wear the white gloves around Dylan a little bit. Like, oh, don't touch the Dylan, like it was a lot of that. And maybe it was just like reality hit, like this guy's good, but like, is he a first round NFL draft choice type of talent?
Yep.
I don't know that anybody feels like that's still the talk. Now, is he an NFL guy? Maybe. In the right system, this type of thing. I still think he's a really good quarterback and a good talent. I'm just a little torn on how I feel about it. Because like I said, I've always leaned towards when you got something here, we've seen enough quarterbacks that can't play.
That's true.
That I'm always slow when I see, okay, this guy's got some talent. He can really think the game. He's been
accurate.
Good. He's good in the clutch. He's been good in those sort of like 2-minute scenarios. But his pocket presence, mobility, deep ball, arm strength, they're not really in question. But
I know, but I hear it like when he arrived, he was branded as this. He's got a huge arm. He's got an unbelievable arm talent. I'm like, I don't see this like cannon rocket.
It's almost like he's a touch thrower.
Yes,
I see him as like he throws a nice touch ball, but the ball's not. It's not a missile. He doesn't have the rocket ball. I don't think I've ever seen him throw a rocket ball.
No, so and I don't know what that necessarily is. And so you talk about how you're torn. I do think on some level, I think it makes sense to a certain degree for both Dylan and Nebraska to go different ways. Like, if you just stop for a second and put yourself in Dylan Raiola's shoes.
Yeah.
If he's supposed to be an NFL quarterback, like you talked about, a first or second round draft pick, so far in 2 years at Nebraska, he's not trending towards that.
Yeah.
So I could also see him and his dad sitting down and going like, okay, it's been 2 years. We should be like, we should be kind of, the talk should be like, man, if you could take Dylan in this draft, you'd take, like, and that's not it. So I can get how, from that perspective, you'd go, I need to change I need something different to change my trajectory here a little bit of my individual draft stock.
Yeah, I think that could be, that USC game, like Holgorsen mentioned it in his presser yesterday, and I had been thinking about that. That's the game, really, right? Like that was the hinge moment where, Holgorsen, I think he thinks they would have won that game. He said it, essentially.
Yeah.
I kind of get the sense, too. I think that was a winnable game.
Yeah.
But Dylan gets hurt, breaks his leg, and it all changes from that moment. So we can really play the what if game, and I don't know. That's a hard one for me, but there's a world where it goes better and he maybe stays here. But I don't think that changes the reality of
who he is,
and his ceiling. It's not, his ceiling's not as high as I think. Nothing against Dylan. It's not Dylan's fault. His ceiling got put first round.
Yeah.
First pick of the draft type of guy.
And you can say whatever. I mean, when you're a 5-star number one quarterback in the country, like that's what comes along with it. So it isn't us, like this wasn't us building him up into something. Like he came with that branding and that billing.
And it comes with the money. So with the money, with the branding, with the whole thing, and if you want to play into it, which he did, he did, and that's, I don't blame him, because like he was thinking that's how you get paid. That's exactly what you have to kind of do with these incentives. Like he tried to navigate that the best he could, and I don't think he did like a terrible job with it. I think it's the nature of it. You're 18, good luck. Like, but you get millions of dollars. So expectations get kind of crazy. Right?
Yeah. I don't think our expectations were unfair, out of bounds for him. Maybe they were unfair and out of bounds for Nebraska with him
for what he was going to do,
what he could do. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's that. But I also think you can blame it on Satterfield. You can blame it on the tackles. You can blame it on the whatever you want to do it. But like, he was a starter for 22 games, and the offense was pretty average for 22 games.
Yeah. He never, besides a couple of those, I thought he made a couple real nice plays in those comeback drives.
Yeah.
I don't know that it was like he transcended anything. There was just no obviously he's not a mobile guy. So you just have to be so good from the pocket.
Yes.
And he just wasn't good enough from the pocket.
No.
He just wasn't,
no.
Right? To take your team from one place to like another level, the level I think we all wanted to be at. I mean, he took us from loser to bowl game to, in the mix, but he couldn't get us over that to the next level.
No.
Right? He couldn't get us to the top tier. And he had 2 years to do it. Easy schedule this year. We just couldn't do it.
No.
And unfortunately, he got
an All-American. He had a first-team All-Big Ten running back, best running back in 10 years. So, but even even I think the way you and I have discussed him over the course of 2 years, and even the way we're doing it a little bit now, we even got the gloves on a little.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. What is it about him that makes you kind of like handle with care?
I think he's a legacy.
Yeah.
I think he's a legacy, and you got to give him this. He took a chance on us, and he got paid. So don't. But
no, you're right.
He took a chance, and he, Mitch Sherman used the phrase in his article. He brought cachet
and credibility,
to Nebraska in that moment. Okay, great, thanks. We appreciate it. I'm going to give respect where respect is due. But I'm not also going to pretend like what I see in the field is not what I see. There's some sort of
agree.
There's something in between there that I'm still torn about. I respect him. I think he's got talent. It's not transcendent talent, but I'm also like, we need all the talent we can get. So I'm not trying to like push him out the door. I'd be like, if Dylan wants to stay, we keep him. But I still don't know that I am seeing it as well as others. Other people are like defiantly want Dylan out. And I'm like, whoa, I don't see that. And I don't know that I'm right or wrong on that. I just go, I don't know if we have a better option, like.
If you had to draw a line and say, all the people that think it's good, ready for Dylan to be gone is a good thing for Nebraska, turn the page, go in a different direction, go over there. Everybody that thinks this isn't good for Nebraska, they wish Dylan were still here. I think I would go towards the camp of, I think it's a good thing.
I mean, Nick, just with my job, I'm out talking to different people, and I tell you what, the majority are on that. I feel because like they're ready for him to be gone in a lot of ways.
And it's weird because I just think like and you can't do this, but you can at the same time because it's not changing that much. If his last name wasn't Raiola and he wasn't a 5-star, what would you think of the 22 games with him at quarterback?
In a lot of ways, you would like him more. In a lot of ways, because your expectations would have been lower. Your expectations would be much lower. And so you'd be like, hey, this walk-on is a baller.
Dude, have you guys seen Dylan Smith?
Yeah.
This guy is... Right, I could see that. I guess that goes both ways.
So what I think that rubs people the wrong way is I think he's handled it as, roughly as good as you can in a lot of ways, but there's an entitlement that you can't argue that he gets kind of put on him and he has to kind of buy into.
Yeah.
And people don't like entitlement.
No.
They don't like it when you think you're different and have to be different. And there is a little part of that's kind of been the case. We're doing it. Rule's doing it. We're all giving you a little bit of extra love. It's kind of unfortunate, but that's the nature of it. In the end, if you don't perform then, people turn against you way more.
Agree,
right?
because I wrote down the good. I wrote down like, hey, 2 bowl games. Nebraska had been on a massive bowl drought. Dylan Raiola took Nebraska to 2 bowl games. I agree, gave Nebraska some kind of street cred, for lack of a better term. And I wrote he embraced being the face, but he was also handed being the face.
Yes.
And that's a weird thing.
That's it.
And so I also will say this, and we were texting about this, how he arrived at Nebraska never really sat great with me. No. Like, here's his timeline. In 2021, he was at a high school in Texas. In 2022, he committed to Ohio State. In 2022, he transfers to a high school in Arizona. In 2022, he decommits from Ohio State. In 2023, he transfers to a Georgia high school, Buford, Georgia. In 2023, he commits to Georgia. Later on in 2023, he decommits from Georgia. And then at the end of 2023, he commits to Nebraska. And now in 2025, he transfers from Nebraska. And then to add to that, in 2024, it's now been widely reported that Dominic shopped Dylan Raiola around after last season. Yeah. And that's just that's a way of going about life that I'll never really understand, and it's hard for me to get behind.
Well, you're a person that's of a place, right?
Yes.
Like, I'll give all these guys a little leeway that the incentives point to it's about the money, do what you got to do to get the money. Understood. But when you're of a place, you're a person,
yes,
grew up in Lincoln, we're Nebraskans, we feel very rooted in this place. And when we get wary when people aren't of a place, where it's like the place and the commitment and loyalty to the place don't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
And, that history kind of tells you it's not about the place. It's about, this is the best thing for me. And that's okay. That's how some people are.
Yes.
I'm not that way. I don't think you're that way.
No.
And a lot of Nebraskans aren't that way. So I think Dylan, the story he tried to tell was, I'm going to be of this place. But I don't think he really was, right? He was just like, it's not working for me.
Right.
Right. And there's something to that, to be of a place and to be like, there's a loyalty that goes with it. It's really hard to do it in this modern college football world. So I'm going to give all these guys, including Dylan, the same thing. But when you're trying to tell that story, am I of this place? It's like,
remember when he committed? I know you're not on social media, but when he committed, he had this poem.
I know.
He had this poem. And there was this whole thing, this whole thing that, again, I like the way you put it, that he was going to be of this place. And
that's where I'm just like, people, they go, well, were you serious about that? Or were you not serious? That's what it's like, don't do that. If you're not about that,
right,
then don't
act like you're about that. And now maybe to argue with or play devil's advocate even with ourselves here, if Dom was maybe sitting here, Dom would say, listen, I have been around the sport of football for my whole life.
Undoubtedly.
And I have learned, because of my time in the NFL, the business side of football. You two need to get with the times. I'm sitting on, we have a window here.
That's right. They're not wrong.
They're not, that's where, when Dylan is done with college, Dylan's probably going to end up with enough money that if he wanted to, he could kind of
No, he's done, Nick.
He's done.
He's already made, when you're 18 and you get millions, you invest that money.
If you're not an idiot, you're done. You're done. So
it will compound. He'll be done.
Yes.
So Nick, they're not wrong.
No, I know.
They're not wrong. But if you want to know why people in Nebraska are quick to be, I think it's because of the other thing. There's more to it than just, it's about the money and you got to,
yes.
People here still care about being about we want people that want to be about this place.
Right.
And it's okay. We'll take the mercenaries. We'll pay you to come do your business.
Right.
But we're not going to love you the same as the guy that, if you wrote the poem, the Emmett Johnson, or if Dylan writes the poem, stays for 4 years, there's a different sort of all right, you proved to us you wanted to be here and a part of this, and you were willing to forego other things for it. You're not going to win hearts and minds unless you show that or something. You know what I'm saying? And I guess he got handed the keys. And it's I get it, but if you want to know why people don't feel great about it, that's all we're saying.
Agree.
Not that he's wrong. I don't think he's wrong. That's the nature of it.
Like from that perspective, I mean, Dom and Dylan could go, hey, listen, I can go kick my feet up, and you guys can work the rest of your life. Have fun.
You're going to pass up this extra millions and winning more. It's okay, you guys are good. You could make better points than we are.
Yeah. But. So and two things can be true at once, and I also wonder sometimes the football is so much different than other sports, and the quarterback position is so much different than any other position in sports, where your ability to connect with people and truly build relationships matter greatly. And I wonder if him never ever staying anywhere to truly, does Dylan have a truly meaningful relationship with anybody?
I don't know.
I mean, not to say we've all had a teammate for a year that you were man, that's my boy. But do you still talk to that person? No.
We might be the wrong people.
We're wrong.
We've been playing together forever.
I've been friends with you
We are so believers in you just stick with your guys and you go you stay with your crew all the way.
Yeah.
And you we're different. So I get that's not normal, but there is something there, right? There is something about I've seen that with the timeline you posted. That's telling people something.
That's something. You can't run away from that. That does not reflect well. If from the standpoint when it comes to team
and being a part of
being
a place.
Loyal and sticking through something and all those things, that ain't it.
Yeah, okay? and I get it. You got to get your money. I get it. But you know what? We were paying you.
Paying you reportedly $3.5 million.
You're getting paid. So that's where I'm all right, you're getting paid. And I don't know. It's so to me, I think that's this sort of dynamic that's at work that everybody maybe under the surface is trying to. Why is so many people quickly turning on Dylan? I think because like they don't sense that he's like about this.
Well, because so I think it's all that stuff that we're talking. The timeline, all those things are baked into your subconscious as you're absorbing him. And I think I text you something too. My gut intuition tells me I didn't feel it with him. Well, both as a player, I just didn't think he was. I not to say that I think he's like, people do this all the time. Like, you think he sucks? It's like, no, I don't think Dylan Raiola sucks. But like, I didn't feel it with him as a player, like in terms of being like a truly elite top shelf guy. And then I also kind of didn't feel it with him as a dude, whether it was like the timeline stuff, understanding like that, like, listen, you made all those decisions.
Yeah.
The Mahomes stuff always struck me as, again, I've always said the Mahomes stuff wouldn't bother me as much if he wouldn't react to the Mahomes stuff like, man, I just wish it would go away. I don't understand what he's talking about, what people are talking about. or even the needing to be 15 yards ahead of everybody when you're running out for the tunnel walk, even ahead of Bud Crawford.
Yeah.
After he just that stuff is just all that stuff gets baked into my gut and how I'm reading this guy and reading this situation.
We've been on teams. We know it's like, that's not normal.
No.
I mean, when you're on a team, it's like the freshman doesn't go lead you out.
Right.
I'm just saying, I'd know me. I'd be like, what do you, I'd be going, what?
Yeah. Like what's happening here? I mean, what are you doing? What are you talking about
it's
here?
It's just not normal. Right. So like I say, it was almost like, it was part of the package, right?
Yes.
Like, you want to buy the package, this is how much it costs you, and you're going to get this, and this is what we do as part of the service, the Dylan
Right, there's
service.
a lot, yes.
We're going to lead you out, and you're going to be like, okay, I guess
we're going to need you to read that. This is the deal. Like, you're signing the terms of an agreement. Like, he's going to be 15 yards ahead of everybody in the tunnel walk. Understand that, okay? He is going to act like Patrick Mahomes. People are going to ask him about it, and he's going to say
sign anything. We need to get him. We'll sign whatever.
And you just take it. So I guess I think everybody has gotten a little I think even, like, what we're getting at is, like, there's this elephant in the room, subconscious thing with Dylan that is exhausting.
Yeah.
And it's funny to me, the national narrative versus the local narrative. Like, I think nationally people are like, oh, man, Dylan leaving Nebraska, this is brutal for the Huskers. And locally, most people are kind of like, ugh.
I mean, I'm torn about the whole thing. Like I said, most people I've talked to have been quick to be like, I think we need to find something else. It's been a lot of the mobile quarterback talk.
Because for the record, it seems like, it kind of feels like that's the direction that the offense, that's the direction Nebraska wants to go too, by the way.
And that's fine. I guess for me, I've been saying this, and then Holgerson said it of all people. He said we want to find the best quarterback.
Yep.
Whether it's a pocket guy. And I go, that's how I think. I think just give me the best quarterback. And that's why I've been so slow, with the with defending if Dylan wants to be here, I would be for it, because I feel like we don't have a better option right now. So like Latif, some people are higher on Latif. I'm slow.
I'm slower on Latif.
I got an article sent to me about Michael Strahan thinks like Latif is the guy or something.
Michael Strahan?
Strahan said,
really?
Yeah, it was really bizarre. I was like, what? Strahan loves Latif. Okay. But, we've had people texting like Sorsby's in the portal.
Yeah.
There's different guys. So we'll see what happens if they're riding Latif, or if we want to bring in a transfer, and what style they'll be. But to me, you always take the best guy you can get. And right now, I was just very slow to be like, I know it's not Dylan,
Right.
I'm slow to say that.
Yeah, and I'm ready to move on from Dylan. I'm not ready to just completely proclaim that whatever the next thing is going to be automatically the answer. I just think, I feel like Nebraska is ready to go in a different direction, and I think they need to maybe go in a different direction. And, I saw Ravi with Hurrdat tweeted out this clip, and I was been thinking about this clip for a while. It almost reminds me of, remember the scene in the parking garage where Jonah Hill talks to Brad Pitt after they first met in Moneyball. And he says to him something that's like, I think it's good you got Damon off your payroll. I think it opens up all kinds of possibilities.
Yeah.
I think you could literally just stop Matt Rhule in a parking garage in the Haymarket and go, I think it's good you got Dylan off your payroll. I think it opens up all kinds of possibilities.
Yeah, that's great.
And that's kind of like how I potentially see it here. So the question becomes, like, it'll be interesting to see, do they go get a Sorsby or, some sort of like proven, probably higher priced guy? I don't know if he'll be $3.5 million, but I mean, who the hell knows? Yeah. Higher priced guy, or do you moneyball this thing and go with like Latif? You're probably gonna have to bring in somebody else. That's, but I don't know if it's going to be like someone of Sorsby stature. We're using him as someone everybody knows.
Yeah.
And maybe use some more of that money to go out and get some pass rushers or some offensive linemen or whatever you need to be. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I also think it's important for the complexion of the portal that you have. I would think, on top of, hey, what's the NIL payment going to be? People want to know who the quarterback's going to be.
Yeah.
In the portal in terms of jumping on board.
Yeah.
So these are all things that are going to have to probably get figured out relatively quick.
Yeah. I said this a few weeks ago. I think, if you're in support of Matt Rhule, there to me means that you believe that Matt Rhule is the guy that in this moment can go evaluate people in this portal well and convince them to come here and pay them. Like to find a way to get talent in this moment. That's really... If you believe in Matt Rhule right now, that's really what you believe in, because it is now.
It's complete.
It's a rebuild.
This is a complete. It feels like they are completely starting over.
It is, because the guy that you got that was sort of like the thing that like was going to change the program is now gone. After the program didn't really get changed, you fire two sets of coordinators. I mean, one left. You fired another. Fired your offensive coordinator,
and he lost his first defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He fired his special teams coordinator, and he fired his offensive coordinator. He now has fired his second defensive coordinator.
Yep.
So they're going to be on their fourth defensive coordinator in 3 years, their third defensive coordinator in 3 years. They fired their defensive line coach, Terry Braden, so they're going to be on their, whatever it is, second or third defensive line coach. They're going to be on their third defensive backs coach. They're going to need likely a new quarterback. They got a new offensive line coach. They're going to need a likely new running back number one, I would assume, with Emmett Johnson leaving. Like, does that sound like...
No, it's a rebuild.
This is a complete rebuild, and that's what I've heard Mike Schaefer bring this up. Like, when Rhule signs his extension at the end of October, one of the things they were talking about was stability. This is all about is stability. This doesn't feel like stability. Like, and maybe this is the nature of the world we live in now. Is like, Ed Cooley, Georgetown coach, told me, he was like, the one thing I've had to adjust my thinking. He was like, I'm not building a programming. I'm not building a program. I'm building a team.
A team for a year. Yeah, and that's to be fair to Rhule. That's the nature of it.
That's probably what
right?
it is.
But the part that he sold us on for so many years is that we're building something bigger. We're building something, a foundation, right? And it feels like he would probably have to admit, there is some culture stuff that he built. There is some foundational stuff he's built, but not as much and as deep and as ready to go as we were kind of so this is where Matt Rhule, if he's going to be valuable to the program for going forward, this is his moment.
Yeah.
And the moment is huge. Different than it used to be. Strip it down and, develop players and recruit and develop players. It's more like,
you better choose the right people.
Can you evaluate and choose the right guys in the portal now?
And coaches. Like Rob Aurich, as we'll get in it, Rob Aurich better be the guy.
If you bust another coordinator, because
if he's not the guy,
Butler's your guy. Butler is your guy.
I just think, I've tried to say this for a while now. You only get so many mulligans.
Yeah.
You only get so many, let me try that again. Jeff Sims. Let me try that again. Marcus, like Satterfield, Foley, John Butler, on and on. Terry Braden, Donovan Raiola.
These are his guys.
These are his guys that he chose.
It's like he doesn't know who they are or something.
I know that's my
don't
only.
hire these guys if you don't know who they are.
Right. That's my concern a little bit right now is that like he has. I don't know how it's even arguable. He's not done a very good job choosing the right people in incredibly important positions.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand a little bit of this moment with him because it is, and I dismiss the Indiana thing all year because I go, I don't get it. I still don't understand.
I don't either.
But I will say this: I still don't understand it, but it is the greatest coaching job in the history of college football ever, Nick. In the history. 100 and plus, 100.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to even argue that.
It's the best. Nobody has done what that guy did in that amount of time under the circumstances. It's unthinkable.
He took basically the worst power conference football program
ever.
And in 2 years has them undefeated. They won the Big Ten. Like, it's incredible. Continue, but I agree.
And I can't explain because maybe they got some money that they're using well, but like they don't have Ohio State's recruits. They don't have Ohio State's money. They don't have any of that stuff that's even comparable, but they got solid guys to come there. And then but to play at a level that's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Like, let's look how many pros they sent out compared to Ohio State. It's not going to be close. It's not even going to be close, but they still got some good guys.
Yes.
So, but they're maximizing everything. Don't really fully know how they have done it, but they've done it. And to lose their quarterback who came from James Madison, is like, okay, explains a lot of the continuity.
Yeah.
And then they go bring another guy in. Guess what?
Mendoza wins the effing
and then he wins the Heisman. That's the difference. And that sealed it to me with that win over Ohio State. Like, I still can't explain it, but it's the greatest job ever. And now Matt Rhule, he can't hide from that. He cannot hide from what Indiana has done. So whatever he is talking about, the game has changed now because of that.
Yes,
you're held to this standard.
Well, and here's the thing: is you may not be held. I don't think anybody thinks that the standard was for Matt Rhule to go 13-0 and win the Big Ten by year 3 necessarily. But you can get to 85%. You can get to. Why can't you get to 80% of what Cignetti's done or whatever? Like, I think that feels like is attainable.
It's not. He's rebuilding year 3, right? So like it was always about year 3, and now it's like, well, now it's time to rebuild.
And now it's complete reset, rebuild. And so I guess that's it. Just you only get so many opportunities to go back to the drawing board and hiring board and the portal shopping before you're not going to be able to do that anymore.
Yeah, he is now like he is on, and he's not behind. He's not like, oh, I just got hired. He's got time. He's got a staff. Yeah. He's got something established. They should be able to evaluate and recruit and find a way to get talent here because we got the money to do it. We have money, and now we're not paying Dylan. We should have a good extra a couple $1 million to spend, right? So his ability to bring in like program changing talent, that's what he's going to be judged on. Yeah. The first first 2 weeks of January. Yeah. That's the portal. Mm-hmm. Like that's going to be his career.
So his hire, like this Aurich hire, Jeep Wade, the O-line coach, like those hires combined with how they fill out that defensive staff, because I'd imagine it's going to be a lot of changes. Yeah. Obviously, Terry Braden, the D-line coach, is out. Between those decisions and, like you said, the 2 weeks of what they do in the portal is in some ways, I don't want to, like, it's going to maybe tell the tale for Matt Rhule on whether this thing works or not. Because if he doesn't get, if they don't have a good portal session,
Yeah, and I think that the bowl game, I mean, it's crazy. Nobody's talked about the bowl game at all.
Well, and I think there's a reason why. But because I think everybody knows it's about to, I don't know, it feels like you're walking into the ring with Mike Tyson here a little bit.
Well, it's like, I don't know. This is those Utah teams. They're always old and they're tough, and it's like it's
a horrible matchup. I mean, they're top. I think they're top 5 nationally in rushing offense. 10 of their 12 games, they've rushed for 200 plus yards. They run the quarterback. I think they have. I mean, it's a horrific matchup. And Nebraska, they don't have Emmett Johnson, so they don't have their best player. There's no Emmett. Latif is still like nursing that hammy.
Yeah.
It's a horrible, and it's Whittingham's last game.
Yeah, they're going to be playing with like so much emotion. It's all set up to be bad. But you know what? Like, we're going to learn a lot about Latif. We're going to learn a lot about those running backs. We're going to get to see some things, which I'm excited for. But we're going to be bummed out if if
you go get murdered again and you end. I mean, to be fair,
a 3-game losing,
3-game final, just getting blasted. I mean, the spread is 14.
Yeah.
So, real quick with John Butler. So what's weird is I was surprised by the Butler firing. Not that I thought he was doing a good job. It was more that I didn't even consider that as necessarily. And like, did you think that was in the cards? Like, I didn't think that was even in.
I thought it was in the cards.
Did you? Okay,
yeah.
Just because of the way the last 2 games went.
Yeah.
Okay, because what's hard is like I was never. I always thought I never loved that hire.
I did
to begin with.
It felt like.
It didn't feel right. It felt, again, I think Rhule has this thing. He likes to, it's almost like he has this complex as a head coach that he likes to take these like unproven coaches and coach them up into great coaches.
Yeah.
Whether it was the Garrett McGuire, I think he was 11 years old as a wide receivers coach. Yeah. Like shit like that. It's like, get a fucking real wide receivers coach. What are you doing? Okay. Even with John Butler, it's like, go get a real defensive coordinator, a guy that's been a coordinator one time in the past 5-10 years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so I guess for me, I never liked the Butler hire. I thought the defense struggled a lot this year.
Yeah.
But I just didn't feel like, for whatever reason, I thought that wasn't a possibility. So I was surprised, but I'm also not surprised, if that makes sense how I'm laying that out.
Yeah. I think Rhule is, the one thing that you always got to give him, I think he's smart. And I think he's usually early rather than being late.
Like, people want to give him credit with Satterfield. I mean, to fire a guy like mid-year.
He does it. Like, he always is quick to do that because it's good I think it's good, right? It's good to like make the changes early when you need to make them. But it's also, I think for him, it's like, it's another thing that he can point to. It's like, hey, we're making changes. Mm-hmm. Like, it gives him a little bit more breathing room to be like, hey, we're making the changes that need to be made. I think people like that. Like, if it's not working, like, people like to see changes.
People like their pound of flesh. They like somebody's
gone.
Right.
And we can tell another story, but Butler was unique. I mean, the things coming out of it were weird. Like, you're not playing hard. Well, in a lot of ways, I don't put that on Butler. I put that in Matt Rhule. Like, don't hire a guy that's team isn't going to play hard.
Right.
Or don't allow that to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I didn't love a lot of people kind of. I didn't love all of that because that felt like, now he tried to do the whole thing at the end, like, and then at the end of the day, that's on me or whatever. But
maybe he did say it.
But like,
I'm glad he can say it. But that's when you even say it publicly, it's like, I don't know. It's like,
because to me it was noticeable for 2 years that side of the football played hard, and that side of the football had an edge. And see, this is where a year ago, this is where maybe I'm going to end up looking like how I feel like other people looked like. Everybody poo-pooed Tony White leaving, except me. Now, I'm not trying to be Mr. I told you so, but I couldn't believe the people that were trying to act like, oh, God, what are you talking about? Yeah. They, for 2 straight years, had a top 10 rush defense, and they flew around. They tackled well. Yeah, they had Indiana. They struggled. They played poorly against UCLA at home for 3 quarters or whatever it was. I get that. But for all the other 20 games of 2 years under Tony White, that defense was good enough.
Yeah, and I think these were some of the like Scott Frost recruits. So, but like Nash and Ty and Butler, like those guys, and
Bullock and Gifford, and it's
those guys. Like those guys, I think you could really like lean on those guys, and losing them. I mean, it was like a hole right through the middle of our defense. It felt like we never got.
We never got the production, the toughness,
intensity, the toughness. It all just like, it just all slipped, and it was like people were, they were quick.
It was interesting, even with like he's got his guy Phil Snow there, who's like the associate head coach, but he's a former defensive coordinator, so he's like in the room. Like it's just interesting. The erosion of that side of the ball this year is. I'd love to get more inside of that at some point.
I mean, I just think you look at the defensive, like interior defensive linemen, linebackers, like we just didn't have guys. Like
sometimes I think Rhule is a little overconfident in that he thinks he can take this unproven coach and make him a great coach. And he can take this undersized group of D linemen and make them a great defensive line unit.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is, but because I say that to say it was obvious, Bo.
Yeah.
It was obvious that the D line, we knew it going into the season. Like, how are they gonna? What is this gonna look like? And what did it look? It looked like exactly like in some ways and this is what's weird. This season looked kind of exactly what I thought it would look like.
Kind of.
I mean, it was where they were deficient. It was where we all thought they would be deficient.
Yeah.
Now, thank God Emmett Johnson became Emmett Smith.
Emmett Johnson's the one thing that we go like,
where the hell that come from?
I mean, I sometimes think I need to learn how to see running backs again because like I did not see him as first team All-American. You couldn't like travel back in time. I'd tell myself, I've been like,
Emmett does spook me on my on it's almost made me second guess my evaluating. Like
I don't know.
Well, even I've told people like, what's also spooked me? Don't want to go down like Nebraska basketball starting out 11-0 and being top 20 in the country. Like I went and watched them practice and I was like, "Ooh, man, I thought they were going to be okay." But I was like, I don't know who's going to. The point guards look concerning. Their athleticism, who can beat anybody off the bounce, and like, so I'm like, right now, I'm like, I don't take everything I say with a grain of salt right now because
it's a different world out there, Nick, and we maybe just need to like sit down and refocus because there are some things happening. Like we talked the Indiana
stuff. You go, what's?
I mean, Nick, it's just a different world, and I don't know, but yeah, there's a lot that has happened. It's going to be an incredibly important offseason. And Matt Rhule, like I keep going back, he's going to have to prove his worth right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. Because I don't know what else he can do if he can't convince guys to come here and pay them and evaluate them correctly. Then what edge are we going to get? Because we don't have a coaching staff that seems to be cohesive. We don't seem to have the ability to like develop players.
And keep in mind, everybody has talent or everybody has money.
Everybody has money. So we got facilities. That's great. But like we've got fans, we've got facilities, we've got money, pretty good amount of money. But like, what are we going to do that gives us an edge?
Yeah, it better be your head coach's thing.
You better be able to get guys to come here.
Because the thing, you know what, and because you lived this world, it's going to be a rough winter conditioning, and spring ball is going to be hell over there. And it needs to be because you know what, at the end, when that Iowa game ended and you looked at that football team and you reflected on the season, the thing that has to hurt Rhule the most and that is on Rhule is that team was physically soft.
Yeah.
They weren't physical. They got pushed around. You can explain it away all you want. They got people ran it up their fucking ass every game.
Yeah.
Period.
Yep.
Okay? So playing with toughness and physicality and all those things. Like, to me, ultimately, all of that is on the head coach.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say, like, I would think winter conditioning is going to be, I mean, when the biggest issue was like, at the end of the first year was like, hey, we're chasing 3. Remember the whole chasing 3 thing? It's like, we're chasing some nuts.
We're chasing behemoths in the portal that can come in and like make us imposing in the trenches. Because our like, if you can't win the trenches in the Big Ten, like, you just can't really do it. You just can't.
Agree.
You can scatter a couple games in there that you might, call some great plays and do something. But like, let's be real. Like, you just can't be a threat.
It's going to catch up to you. It's going to catch up to you. I mean, so we kind of hit on Butler. Aurich, it's hard. I don't want to sit here and act like I have a strong. He's a relatively unknown guy. San Diego State, here some numbers on him. So San Diego State this year, 5th in scoring defense, 21st in rush defense, 5th pass defense, 12th in third down defense, 23rd in sacks, 20th in interceptions with 13, and they had 3 pick sixes, like my man Bo Ruud, ranked 4th in the country, 4th best in the country. It sounds Rhule kind of talked about like the attitude that Aurich will bring with all that stuff. Do you have? I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm like. I love the way when teams getting twins and they motion into an H-back. Like I don't.
None of it matters. It truly doesn't. It does not matter. I know nothing about him other than reading the
bio.
Went to Idaho. Mm-hmm. So Andrew Marshall.
Yep.
Knows him, speaks highly, but of course he's going to, right? Then he goes to San Diego State. So he's had 2. If you give him a positive, he's recently gone to 2 schools, new schools.
Right.
And came in and, has done well. Now they're smaller schools. It's a different league. But I do think that's a positive that this is not his first time as a coordinator. He's not being handed the job from, it's like a promotion within. Because you just don't know who you are, right? So this guy at least has gone to these places and has proved he can, build something and implement something.
Yes.
Like new.
Yep.
I'm new.
Right.
Here's what I do. Here's how I do it.
Agree.
And it ends up good. That he's shown me. And that's different than what you'll see when somebody's promoted internally.
Like Butler.
Or he comes from the NFL where it's like, you've never been a coordinator. Well, guess what?
You're a secondary coach and you're coaching guys that are,
It's just different. Like, It's a different kind of risk where I feel a little bit more comfort that, like, he's done it now twice recently. So I know that this is not, that part of it's not new. So I would say the first time you do it, it's like running a business or whatever. The first time you do it, you're like, God, I didn't know this.
Yes.
You just don't know so much that first time.
Agree.
The second time you're going to be better. The third time he should be like, this is how I do it.
Agree.
So that part of it, I feel better about. The scheme, can he get guys to play hard? I don't know. Who cares? Like, that's what we'll figure out. But I just going through that, like, okay, looking at the timelines. Okay, this guy at least has that. I feel good about that.
I agree. I well said. I agree with all of that. I have no real, other than that, let's see. Let's watch what things look like. Let's try to absorb his personality, what you can through the media and different things. All those kinds of things. Jeep Wade comes from Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's been excellent running the football. They were a dual threat rushing attack. With Donovan Raiola, he'd been here, 5 years or whatever it is. Like, he just, again, you can blame Dylan for holding on the ball for too long in some instances, which was absolutely true or whatever, but you can't give up that many sacks.
Those are all of Raiola's guys that he's had for years. I mean, he's had Cochran, he's had Teddy, those are his guys.
Those are his guys. That is a handpicked, fully developed, under his watch offensive line. That was supposed to be one of the, people would argue that was going to be the strength of the team, and it ended up being
the worst in
the worst pass protect. I mean, it was there were games when you're giving up 9 sacks in a game, it's alarming. So that wasn't too surprising. And so we'll see what he looks like. They also parted ways with Terry Braden, the Chiefs guy that came from the Chiefs, as their D-line coach or whatever.
And
so
whether or not he was good or not, I don't know. This could be the coordinator's coming. He's got some guys.
My guess is, part of taking the job, I would think Aurich is saying like, okay, how much freedom am I going to have to pick my guys?
Because they're keeping the secondary coach.
Correct.
And I think that's the guy that has like the connection to the 5-star. So I guess there's like, this guy's got to recruit. We're keeping this guy,
Yeah, I bet he said you can hire whoever you want, but this guy's staying.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what he wants to do.
I don't know anything about how Braden coached, but if your D-line plays like that, it just like, what reason do they have to keep you?
Yeah. None.
I don't know.
None. And on top of that, so you have the performance aspect of it, and then the aspect of like you have a new guy that's a new defensive coordinator that probably wants to come in and put his people in place, which I completely understand.
Yep.
I mean, Emmett Johnson not playing in the bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
I guess not surprising.
First team All-American. He's going out. This is his ticket, right? He's got a chance to go.
Yeah.
It may never be better than this moment for him.
I'm not mad at him at all with it. I don't.
That guy's earned it. I mean, he earned it. He took on the load this year.
Whew.
I mean, that was basically throughout the year was like, you got to ride Emmett, and they did. And that's what it looks like. A lot of one of the reasons he was an All-American is because we weren't good enough anywhere else. We basically like, just keep giving that guy the ball.
He became the whole offense.
You don't see that. Even like we talk about some of these other schools, like they got really good running backs, more talented than Emmett Johnson. But you know what they all do? They rotate because you should, right? But Emmett's so like, we didn't have anybody. The guy's a workhorse. He's like,
he also can catch, so you could get him the ball in other ways.
But he never came off the field, and like he could handle the load. That's how you become an All-American, though. It's like the difference between like, I got 15 carries and like I got 25 every game.
Right.
That's the difference between not like, I don't know that he's an All-American unless he gets those 10 extra carries every game.
I agree. And so now it's Utah in the Las Vegas Bowl, New Year's Eve, playing the Utes, who are second in the country in rushing offense behind Navy. They average 269 yards rushing a game.
So if you're in Vegas making bets, will the Huskers hold them under that?
I don't. Phil Snow's the coordinator for this. I don't know if even he can. It just that D line. I just don't see how they're all of a sudden going to become, stout, stopping the run like that. Especially because Utah runs the quarterback as well.
Yeah.
So it's just in every way, shape, or form, it feels just like a horrible matchup.
At least the defensive side, there wasn't like nobody's is leaving for the pros or anything.
No.
Like there's just not enough. Like nobody's got that sort of talent.
Well, now I do think the one thing I'm kind of watching for now is like with Dylan now going in the portal. Like, are there going to be other guys that are going to go in there? Like, remember last year, I think Jamari Butler didn't play in the Pinstripe Bowl because he was going in the portal.
Well, wouldn't they have announced that by now?
That's right. I would think if those announcements are if any of that's going to happen, it's got to get announced like now.
Well, the thing about this, because we're playing before the portal opens.
Yeah.
So in a way, I feel like
you could go play in it, and then
some of these guys are probably
like, I wonder about a Ja'Cory Barney.
They're trying to raise their profile in a sense, so maybe like another game helps some of these guys. They're hoping like have a really good game and then enter the portal. Because like, I don't know, it's like nobody here's good enough to be like, I'm just a portal guy. Like, I'm going to go get paid. Like, are you?
Yeah.
Are you going to go get paid more than Nebraska?
Right. No, I mean, that's the other thing we didn't talk about. It will be fascinating to see where Dylan lands. I'll be because that will tell you. Maybe
I agree, because like that was what I proposed after the Iowa game. I go, how would you feel if he went to Iowa? Would you feel like, I mean, I wouldn't like it because it's like I think you'd fit there decently, right?
Yeah. Other than he's this year they had the dual threat quarterback, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, there was talk initially of Oregon.
Yeah.
There's now been some talk of Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if like he's got an Adidas connection, like it needs to be another Adidas school or something, because you'd imagine there's some connections in those in that world. It'll be interesting to see because there's some other guys like, I mean, you have Aiden Childs, you have Sorsby, you have Levitt, the Arizona State quarterback in there. Like you have other guys where he's not necessarily the first pick of the litter.
Well, the hard part is with these big schools is they're paying these recruits each year. Like the top 10 schools in the country every year are paying their quarterback recruits how much?
I mean, $1 million probably. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's like, so that's where it's like they've got, you start stacking up these quarterbacks.
Yeah, I know. Can you have a payroll on your payroll?
Yeah.
Can you have in your quarterback room? Can you have like $5 million in just your quarterback room?
I guess some of these schools maybe have the money they can.
They maybe do
it.
Texas Tech or something like that. These different places maybe have it. I'm not sure. I will be very interested to see where ultimately Dylan lands. He's a guy that, let's be honest, if you just turn on the film, it's okay.
Yeah.
He's got a broken leg.
Yeah, I wonder how long that's going to take.
I thought someone said like February he would be back. Like,
oh, okay.
So, does that sound right? I mean, November. He was hurt November 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. I mean, I thought that's what I thought. Maybe I'm making it up.
Could be.
I thought
few months. You start.
Start moving around a little bit. But I could see how, you see he's a former 5-star. He was committed to Georgia. He was committed to Ohio State. He was, like I could see you being like, we can, I can say it's, I can save. There's sugar on the strip pole. She's gorgeous. I'll date her. I'll save her. She'll be great to me. Like some coaches think they can go like if people have Dylan has that talent. He just needs to get in if we put him in our situation with our coaching and our line and our receivers. And maybe that's true. I know there's some people, we have a friend that thinks like if you put Dylan with a good line and big time wide receivers, he's gonna look great. And maybe that's true. I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see if he goes to the Big Ten, that would be really interesting.
If he goes to Oregon, that doesn't. I don't because Dante Moore. I want to say their quarterback has another year, but I agree. I mean, if he goes to the Big Ten and he comes and plays Nebraska, like that'll be. Yeah, I mean, Dante Moore I think's got another year.
I just don't see how he'll go outside of the Big Ten or SEC, right? Like he's going to go to one of the two.
You would think
2 power. I just don't see anybody else having the money or. But yeah, I just don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting. It will tell a lot where he goes. Because, if he goes to not a top program,
because I've heard Louisville. Like, if he goes to Louisville, you're like, That
would tell me something different.
I agree.
If he goes to Oregon versus Louisville, it tells me where he thinks he's at.
Yeah.
He doesn't think he's the 5-star guy anymore.
Right. And it tells me what the market. I mean, ultimately, the open market is the NFL draft and the open market and the portal are the ultimate truth tellers.
Yeah.
How good are you? Well, put them on the open market and let's see what happens.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, but yeah, it's going to be a fun month because in about a month we'll know a lot.
Yeah.
We'll have had the bowl game played. The portal will be ran its course.
Any other thing? I mean, I think we had so many things. I don't know if we hit on them all, but I think we hit on them all. For we got Dylan, D coordinator, O line,
Nebraska basketball's undefeated. I mean, it's
rolling,
unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Nebraska volleyball loses, tragically to a good Texas.
That's
A&M
the cool
team.
part. That's that is the cruel part of sports, and the amazing part of sports is just all it takes is one bad moment, one bad day, and it can all go away. And it's like, ooh,
yeah, but
brutal, absolutely brutal. Okay, well we'll do a recap pod for the Las Vegas Bowl.
Yeah.
And we'll see what that looks like. And then ultimately, people are going to turn the page quick from this bowl game to see what this portal is going to look like because it's going to be an enormous couple of weeks here.
That's right. The club's been closed, so club will be closed. And I don't know, maybe after that bowl game, we'll have a winter club opening, I'd hope.
Oh, winter. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
after the portal, we'll have a new club, and we'll see because right now, I mean, it'd be hard to choose who.
Maybe we'll do a club. If we win, we'll do a club after the bowl game, and then we'll have a post-portal club.
The post-portal club. There you go. That's it.
You can make it in the club if you're
post-portal
good enough portal club. Like if you're good enough in the portal, you might make the club.
The post-portal club. Okay, I like that. All right. So we will be ready for the recap pod after that, and we'll see what happens, my friend.
It's good to be here, Nick.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.